take a look at some troubleshooting techniques. We said that, you know, you're not necessarily going to have discipline problems, but there are some personalities that we come into contact with. And I'm going to describe some of those to you here. And the first one is the alienated Catholic. Sometimes people come to an adult catechesis event and they're carrying some baggage. They've been away from the church for a while. They may be harboring some anger and resentment. And so in cases like this, it's really important to acknowledge that hurt, to affirm the fact that the person is here. It means there's an opportunity for healing. Sometimes you may need to talk privately with a person, or to arrange for him or her to speak with a parish staff member, but always be on the lookout for people who have been away from the church, and this is your opportunity to give them a positive experience of coming back. Sometimes you get what we call the silent treatment. Some people are there and they feel they're there because they have to, you know, it's part of the marriage prep expectation or an infant baptismal prep. We have to be there. So they might give you a little silent treatment as a way of just showing their resentment. What you want to do is just to awaken in them the fact that this is an opportunity to meet Jesus. Just stay positive. Keep coming at them with that positive attitude and with a constant invitation to meet and to deepen their experience with the Lord. Sometimes you're going to have people give confusing or wrong answers. Folks will just say things that you know, kind of boggle your mind. It's like, I'm not sure what this person is saying. So when that happens, what you want to do is acknowledge the person's contribution, but then sort of gently invite others in the group to clarify that person's point, or maybe provide the accurate information that's needed. Sometimes people will be giving opposite answers. You may have been looking to steer the direction, the conversation in a certain direction, and then someone throws in something to throw it off course and off of the direction you were hoping to take it in. So in cases like that, you want to acknowledge the contribution and then invite others, asking, does everyone agree with what's been said? Does someone have another viewpoint? So give yourself another opportunity to steer things in the direction that you were hoping to. Sometimes people will ask irrelevant questions or give irrelevant answers. You know, in this case, they're not that different from kids. Sometimes they just go way off base and go on tangents that are very irrelevant. So when that happens, you just want to gently acknowledge that perhaps that's a bit off topic and we need to regain our focus. Let's get back to our focus for the evening. Sometimes people are going to challenge authority, whether it be your authority or the authority of the church. And so once again, it's good to acknowledge the person's thoughts, but you might need to respond by saying, well, you know, I respectfully disagree if it's a matter of clarifying church teaching, and then to offer the correct teaching. And if you're having problems finding the right words to convey that church teaching, just go ahead and tell them that, you know, I'm not finding the right words. Next week I'm going to come back, I'm going to talk to the pastor or to the catechetical leader and do a little research, and we'll talk about this further next week, okay? Don't panic. A few more. Sometimes we meet the dominator, or this person who just wants to dominate the conversation and intimidates others. So what you need to do in cases like this, you sometimes just need to occasionally and gently interrupt that dominator and ask what other people are thinking. You may need to directly ask some other participants what their thoughts are on a topic before you throw it open to the whole group. So you can kind of steer past that dominator and go directly to someone that you know is ready to answer but keeps on getting shut out. And then sometimes you just need to talk privately with that dominator and ask him or her to tone it down a little bit. But do it respectfully and be gentle about it. You know, the opposite of that is the wallflower, the introvert who won't say a word. Well, you know, you need to respect folks who just want to remain private. You can gently invite them and prod them a little bit to share, but don't push too hard. Some folks are just built that way, and they're comfortable being there, but they don't want to share too much. Be on the lookout for the needy person. Some people come to a group because they want to have a problem of their own solved, and they're going to try to turn it into a group therapy. and, start talking about their own personal problems over and over again to kind of get attention. And that can get very uncomfortable. So you may need to deal with that person privately, help them to find the appropriate place to get the help that they need in this situation. Some folks are just preoccupied. They don't know how to sit still, so they're checking their cell phones or they're crocheting or knitting, and that's just kind of disrespectful. So in some cases, you're just going to need to privately talk to that person and ask them to set aside those distractions. Some folks are a little resentful that they have to be there. Your job is to gradually win those people over, affirm the people who are happily participating, so they can kind of see that good things are happening here. But be patient with the resentful ones and simply emphasize in very positive terms how nothing beats an opportunity to deepen our relationship with the Lord. And then finally, sometimes people just make inappropriate comments. It might not be intended to be. They might be intending to be playful, but in reality their comments might be either sexist or racially insensitive or politically incorrect. So sometimes you're going to need to deal with an individual and ask them to refrain from such comments. And sometimes you might need to do it right on the spot and just say, excuse me, so-and-so, that's just not appropriate. Or, please, let's not go there. Let's keep our comments charitable.